Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. Begin it now. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Behavior is a mirror in which everyone shows his image. Investigate what is and not what pleases. A really great talent finds its happiness in execution. Who rides so late through night and wind? It is the father with his child. It is the most foolish of all errors for young people of good intelligence to imagine that they will forfeit their originality if they acknowledge truth already acknowledged by others. Noble be man, helpful and good, for that alone sets him apart from every other creature on earth. The spirits that I summoned up, I now can't rid myself of. Men who give way easily to tears are good. I have nothing to do with those whose hearts are dry and whose eyes are dry. Not to keep from error is the duty of the educator of men, but to guide the erring one, even to let him swill his error out of full cups. That is the wisdom of teachers. Whoever merely tastes of his error will keep house with it for a long time, but whoever drains it completely will have to get to know it. As many languages you know, as many times you are a human being. Know'st thou the land where the lemon trees bloom, where the gold orange glows in the deep thickets gloom, where a wind ever soft from the blue heaven blows, and the groves are of laurel and myrtle and rose. Once a man's 30, he's already old, he is indeed as good as deed, it's best to kill him right away. He who does not speak foreign languages knows nothing about his own. The person born with a talent they are meant to use will find their greatest happiness in using it. Sometimes our fate resembles a fruit tree in winter. Who would think that those branches would turn green again and blossom? But we hope it, we know it. Who is the happiest of men? He who values the merits of others, and in their pleasure takes joy, even as though 'twere his own. Though you're a whole world, Rome, still without love, the world isn't the world, and Rome can't be Rome. Who science has and art, he has religion too, who neither of them owns religion is his due. The man who science has and art, he also has religion, but he who is devoid of both, he surely needs religion. Who wants to understand the poem must go to the land of poetry. Who wishes to understand the poet must go to the poet's land. If I work incessantly to the last, nature owes me another form of existence when the present one collapses. All 9 often used to come to me, I mean the muses, but I ignored them. My girl was in my arms. Now I've left my sweetheart, and they've left me, and I roll my eyes, seeking a knife or rope. But heaven is full of gods. You came to aid me. Greetings, boredom, mother of the muse. Life teaches us to be less harsh with ourselves and with others. Let us live in as small a circle as we will. We are either debtors or creditors before we have had time to look round. Things which matter most must never be at the mercy of things which matter least. He alone is great and happy who fills his own station of independence and has neither to command nor to obey. Law is mighty, mighty a necessity. O'er all the hilltops is quiet now, in all the tree-tops hearest thou hardly a breath. The birds are asleep in the trees. Wait, soon like these thou too shalt rest. The message well I hear, my faith alone is weak. Error is related to truth as sleeping is to waking. I have observed that when one has been in error, one turns to truth as though revitalized. When you see some evil, you proceed to immediate action. You make an immediate attack to cure the symptom. Only mankind can do the impossible. He can distinguish, he chooses and judges. He can give permanence to the moment. What is classical is healthy. What is romantic is sick. Am I a god? I see so clearly. People should talk less and draw more. Personally, I would like to renounce speech altogether and, like organic nature, communicate everything I have to say visually. People say, artist, study nature, but it is no small matter to develop what is noble out of what is common, beauty out of what lacks form. The world is so empty if one thinks only of mountains, rivers, and cities. But to know someone here and there who thinks and feels with us, and though distant, is close to us in spirit, this makes the earth for us an inhabited garden. Among all peoples, the Greeks have dreamt life's dream most beautifully. A talent is formed in stillness, a character in the world's torrent. Getting along with women, knocking around with men, having more credit than money, thus one goes through the world. You really only know when you know little. Doubt grows with knowledge. Nothing should be treasured more highly than the value of the day. Nothing is more damaging to a new truth than an old error. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. One is never satisfied with a portrait of a person that one knows. Love does not dominate, it cultivates, and that is more. Do you wish to roam farther and farther? See the good that lies so near. Just learn how to capture your luck, for your luck is always there. Nothing is more frightful than to see ignorance in action. There's nothing clever that hasn't been thought of before. You've just got to try to think it all over again. Mysteries do not, as yet, amount to miracles. The first and last thing demanded of genius is love of truth. If some people hadn't felt obliged to repeat what is untrue, simply because they had at one point maintained it, they would have turned into quite different people. The world is a bell that is cracked. It clatters, but does not ring out clearly. Art is long, life short, judgment difficult, opportunity transient. In art, the best is good enough. Association with women is the basic element of good manners. The true prescriptive artist strives after artistic truth. The lawless artist, following blind instinct, after an appearance of naturalness. The one leads to the highest peaks of art, the other to its lowest depths. Individuality of expression is the beginning and end of all art. There is strong shadow where there is much light. Tell me, you stones, oh speak, you towering palaces. Streets, say a word. Spirit of this place, are you dumb? All things are alive in your sacred walls. Eternal Rome, it's only for me, all is still. Theories usually result from the precipitate reasoning of an impatient mind which would like to be rid of phenomena and replaces them with images, concepts, indeed often with mere words. Fair I was also, and that was my ruin. No one would talk much in society if he knew how often he misunderstands others. I hold to faith in the divine love, which so many years ago, for a brief moment in a little corner of the earth, walked about as a man bearing the name of Jesus Christ, as the foundation on which alone my happiness rests. A teacher who can arouse a feeling for one single good action, for one single good poem, accomplishes more than he who fills our memory with rows on rows of natural objects, classified with name and form. Let the noble man be generous and good, tirelessly achieving what is just and useful. Let him be a model for those beings whom he surmises. All poetry is supposed to be instructive, but in an unnoticeable manner. It is supposed to make us aware of what it would be valuable to instruct ourselves in. We must deduce the lesson on our own, just as with life. The artist may be well advised to keep his work to himself till it is completed, because no one can readily help him or advise him with it. But the scientist is wiser not to withhold a single finding or a single conjecture from publicity. A useless life is an early death. In limitations, he first shows himself the master, and the law can only bring us freedom. Hypotheses are scaffoldings erected in front of a building and then dismantled when the building is finished. They are indispensable for the workman, but you mustn't mistake the scaffolding for the building. My son, whoever wishes to keep a secret, must hide from us that he possesses one. Self-complacence over the concealed destroys its concealment. Everything that liberates our mind without at the same time imparting self-control is pernicious.